We are live. We are back. We are back. We are back. Welcome back to Talk Talk Live, live on IG and YouTube. Yes, we have returned, guys, after a little hiatus. A few technical issues I had to work out, and a few trials that I had to do. But we are back. We are live. We are here, back in your vicinity. How are you guys doing on this mid-January day, January the 19th? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. January 19th. Hope your year is off to a great start. Hope your fitness is off to a good start as well. But we are live. We are back. We are live, people. Yes, and I have a few topics on the go. We are going to be going Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. And we are. I'm going to try and make it so that, because I know that there are playoffs happening right now. It's that time of year, and quite simply, we want to make things so that it's conducive to everyone. What I'm thinking is my Sundays is going to be a chock block day. It's going to be a big ass day. So especially with my Arsenal in first place. Yes, we are in first place. My Arsenal. No Arsenal tonight, but paraphernalia coming in soon, winging its way here, and I'll get that on to you live on Talk Talk Live in due course. But also, yes, my Bills are playing this weekend, so I got my Bills and I got Arsenal on the same day. Arsenal taking on Manchester United, of course. We have an 8-point lead in the Premier League, and now it's 7 because of as it 5 because of Man City's antics today, which I don't know. Tottenham are crap. Quite simply, we don't call them the shadow dwellers of Seven Sisters Road for nothing. Anyway, and they had a 2-0 lead, then they lost a 4-2. I can't get it myself. I cannot get it. And then my Bills play the Cincinnati Bengals today. Shout out to Damar Hamlin, who is back to health. I'm totally thankful that he was able to come back from coronis cordis. Coronis cordis is indeed, I've studied it. It's a stoppage of the heart from due to blunt trauma. So basically, once Mr. Damar was hit right against his heart, it basically stopped it. It stopped oxygen from going to the brain. It's just like basically pulling the plug on your heart. And luckily the medics and the care teams were available and ready for Mr. Hamlin at the sidelines and got him back to health. And he is now hanging out with the Bills in their locker room now. So praise God that we had avoided a real disaster there. And shout out to Damar Hamlin. Let me see if I got the heart sign here. I got it. Yeah, there we go. Shout out to Damar Hamlin. 3-3. Love for 3. There you go. That's the sign right there. Love for 3. And again, thank goodness for the paramedics and the staff at University of Cincinnati Hospital who took care of my man. And we are back here and allowed us to bring him here today. But let's not waste any time, people. It's time to get to business. Time to get back to business. Yes, it's a provocative topic tonight, guys. Now, let me say this from the start. Cheating is never good on any party at any time. It is not something that I or anybody on this earth looks forward to or wishes upon anybody else. Cheating is it is a selfish act. It is something that society abhors, but with good reason. And it is it shows a lack of trust. It shows dereliction of duty. It shows that you have not been able to be truthful with your partner at the end of the day. So cheating is never good on any person. Whether man, woman, or child, it's never a good thing. Well, you won't get children cheating except on tests at school. But men and women alike, they shouldn't be in any modern relationship, especially if you're single. Especially if you are indeed single, cheating is never good. Cheating has never been anything. But again, thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live on IG, YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Link in the description to come. But getting back to it, cheating, never good. Never good. On my prior girlfriends, I've never cheated on them. Let me say that. Never cheated on my prior girlfriends. And, they can attest to that. I've always tried to be an upstanding individual, and you should too. I never advocate for cheating in of any way, shape, or form. And it is the ultimate in betrayal. And if you do cheat, then you're for the streets, quite simply. And you should leave any. You shouldn't be a part of any relationship if your intention is indeed to cheat and to try to have your cake and eat it too. And that's never possible. But people, there's one way you can cheat, and I happened upon this video, and the gentleman within it gave a very plausible argument. There is one situation in which men, in particular, can cheat. One, and only one. If given the option to do so, there's only one way one way a man can cheat on his woman, on his wife, on his girlfriend, and it's in a specific way that cheating can be condoned. So what I'm going to do is right now, if you're with me on Talk Talk Live on YouTube, you can see me now. You can see me right here in live and living color. I have a bit of fleece on tonight. It was a bit of a colder day. This gets hot when called upon. It really does get hot, I'm saying. And wearing a scent. Tonight's scent is Jazz Club by Major Margiela. Love it, love it, love it. I just purchased myself some today. Oh my God. It is a cheating fragrance. Yes. So anyways, let's just get to it. We're going to go back into the browser here. And we're going to get into this man right here. I'm just going to fall into this. And this man here is called the lead attorney. The lead attorney. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the gentleman, this man is a 20-year family lawyer within the state of Georgia. So, Georgia born and raised, graduate of the University of Georgia. He's a Bulldog. Shout out to the Bulldogs, national champs. And quite simply, he knows the game. He knows the ins and outs of relationships and the end of relationships, which usually end up in family court. Now, with this gentleman, Mr. Lead Attorney, TLA, shout out to his page. If you ever get a chance to listen to his shows, they are very long in duration. They can go up to about 5 hours, these shows. But shout out to Lead Attorney because it's very entertaining, quite simply. He's a devotee of the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels. One of his many YouTube friends in the space actually got an audience with Kevin Samuels, did an absolutely brilliant in-depth interview before he died. And he is the lead attorney is someone who I would deem as red/purple pill. Now, if you understand what red pill is, it's all about about making money, making muscle, learning game, and holding frame. So it's all about you men being the best men you can be to attract the woman that you want in your life, and also to dictate terms within a relationship. So that's what red pill is. Now, purple pill is a mix of blue and red pill, because red and blue equals purple. So purple pill now is a movement in which, yes, there are certain areas in which they try to be as romantic as possible with a woman. They try to adhere to the old rules of love and relationships. However, they understand that there is a new movement afoot. There is a new place in terms of relationships these days, and that has been jaded quite simply by modern women, by their need to have traditional men while they be modern women, by the by the understanding that the family law courts are never in a man's favor, and that there needs to be a change in terms of yourself and in terms of the way you look at relationships in order for men to get a better grip / outcome within relationships, as I've already explained. So he's a bit of purple pill, but in this case, this is more of a red pill topic. So you can see lead attorney here on Talk Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Let me widen the screen here as we get into it. Now, lead attorney has one. I was watching this last week. He has one way in which men can indeed cheat in a relationship. One, only one. if given the opportunity. And I wanted you to hear this on Talk Talk Live because I thought this was a fabulous topic. And the name of his podcast in this case was "Some Married Men Should Cheat." Some married men should cheat. So I've given the game away for a second there, in that cheating is only allowed within married relationships, within the guise of people, starting lives together, who have made a bond in front of witnesses and God, to be together for the long term. So it's only through those relationships that men should cheat. But I'll let my man explain in which the way in which men should be allowed to cheat, and the scenario in which they're given that allowance. So thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. We're going to get into it right now. Oh, it's a bit of a sound issue here. Just 1 second, please. Uh, Give me 1 second here, guys. Let me see if I can get this together here. I don't know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. I thought my Bluetooth would work tonight, but unfortunately that is not indeed the case. So what I'm going to do is, give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to go back to my old way. I'm going to have to get this fixed myself because it seems that it dips in and out of power, this stuff. But anyways, um, let's just give it 1 second here. I'm sorry for the delay here. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. I thought I had this under control. Not indeed the case. Let me, didn't work.
Battery 100%. Good. Connected to DESKTOP NR15081.
So let me 1 second about the delay. So I'm gonna have to disconnect, and let me go with this right now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut this down for a second. Give me 1 second here. I do apologize for the delay here. me fast forward that for you quickly here. Ladies and gentlemen, he led off with a banger. Yes, tech support indeed. Tech support is necessary, but he led off with a banger. So let me break it down to you. The first law on cheating. The first law on cheating, ladies and gentlemen, is that women can't cheat. Let me repeat that for the cheap seats. The first law on cheating is that women can't cheat. Yeah, women cannot cheat. Cheating is a man thing in the lead attorney's eyes. In this instance, now he's going to expand on what makes it allowable for men to cheat only. Now, again, whatever your flavor is, have that apply to your neck of the woods. Who's wearing the pants? I don't know. But anyways, everybody wears pants these days, so okay. Make that of it as you will. But the first law is women are forbidden to cheat. If you're not watching my YouTube and you're watching me here on Instagram, that is the first law. Women are forbidden to cheat. Now, can you ladies handle that? I'm asking, can you ladies handle that? That you're not allowed to cheat for first. But again, let us continue. I know things are not bored to those who are watching me on review and to those watching me live on YouTube. The first law on cheating is women are not allowed to cheat. But let us continue. There you go. Just so you ladies understand, the second rule on cheating, the second law on cheating is that men are not allowed to cheat. Are you with me? Are you back with me, ladies and gentlemen? Are you back with me? Men are not allowed to cheat either. Women aren't allowed to cheat. Men aren't allowed to cheat. So are even, right? Especially in in whatever variety of relationship you're in. Women and men are not allowed to cheat. Period. However, there is a twist coming. There is a big old twist. There's a big old curveball here. There's one group that in which fits into the cheating category. And he's about to expand on it right now. And I've already given guesses to it as and will already. But the first two rules, let us review. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live, IG, YouTube, soon to be TikTok. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. So, we have women not be able to cheat, men not be able to cheat. So nobody's allowed to cheat, except one group. Ah, yes, K indeed, you're right, Plexi. K, men aren't allowed to cheat, women aren't allowed to cheat. But we're getting to it. Hold on, here we go. So we have a change. Women and men can't cheat. However, and husbands and wives can't cheat. So we're clear. Women and men can't cheat. Husbands and wives can't cheat. However, notwithstanding the second rule is that husbands are forbidden to cheat. But notwithstanding number two, the second rule, the second, second section. There you go. Section 2 of the law on cheating. Section 2 is that husbands are forbidden to cheat. So section 3 says, notwithstanding section 2, men can cheat on their wives if all these conditions are present. So cheating has to be within the what must be allowed for men, but within the guise of a marriage. It has to be within a relationship. Now, he's going to break down exactly what that means, but cheating's only allowed when God and the state has approved of your marriage. If you choose to, write a marriage certificate, let's say that. But under God, that's the only time when you can cheat. When you are married and more or less you have kids. So he's going to get into subsections A, B, C, and you get the drift. Hold on. Let's go on with this. So again, certain conditions have to be met. Let's listen. So he's paraphrasing it into sections now. Now he's got into sections. Now he started to number them off like they're, you are in a statute book. Remember, it's only men in marriages who can cheat. Let's go on. There is a marriage. So, first of all, that's part A. Section 3, subsection 1. There is a marriage. So here's a clause in which, now subsection 2 is the kicker. That is the ultimate relief for women in that there's supposed to be a marriage, one, but number two, the husband has to be responsible for the household bills. He has to be paying the majority of the household bill. 51% of bills and up. That's when you're on the road to being allowed to cheat. You're on the road. Are you married? Yes. Are you paying the majority of the bills? Yes. So if you are involved with a Pookie and Ray Ray, if you're involved with a lagabout, if you're involved with a slack-jawed gawker, these rules don't apply. You cannot be allowed to cheat, even though they'll cheat, but it's punishable by law. Let's say that. It is punishable by law. But if you are married and you pay bills, the majority of bills, then you get off. I mean, the law still applies to you. This statute still applies to you. You get it? Okay? So you have to be upstanding. You have to be sworn in front of God and state, and also you have to be able to pay the household bills. You have to be an in-house husband. Not out of house. In-house. Because if out of house, you're basically in your own relationship. So this doesn't apply to you. And then you're single, and then you can do what you want. But remember, cheating is cheating. So you're in the wrong nonetheless. But you're in the right if you are married and if you pay the household bills. Let's continue. already said, you can't have a woman paying a man's bills and then cheat on her. That's the ultimate betrayal. That's the ultimate indecency. That's the ultimate indecency. And I'll sign off on that wholeheartedly because, again, there are many men like this. Many. Who literally hang out at home while our wives go out and work. Again, we can go into on this subject on another another subject in which single parent homes lead to this ideal. However, we're gonna leave that there. Park that. We're going to this. So you can't be at home being a layabout, being a wastrel, being a Pookie and Ray Ray, being an absolute lazy ass, gentlemen. Because the red pill does not accept you in such a way. Does not. But if you're at home doing nothing, this law does not apply to you. We got a message from Miss Plexi. So if he pays more, he can cheat. If he pays the majority, he can pay more, but more can be 30%. More can be 40%. More can be 20%. So if he started from zero and he paid more bills and it was 20%, he still can't cheat. You have to pay the majority of bills, Plexi. But good point, good question. I like it. I like where you're going there with that. You have to be paying the majority of the bills, 51% and above bills. You have to be paying the way for your family, carrying the weight for your family, the majority of the weight, 51% and above. But good question, Plexi. And if you are a lazy ass, no good, drug up, vagabond, slack-jawed gawker, and there are men out there, like, I'm talking to you, you're not allowed to cheat. No. No, you're not allowed to cheat. You don't have the right to cheat. You haven't earned the right to cheat. You must be an upstanding individual working for your family. Then the law may apply. But let us continue. There it is. So again, that question goes to you, Plexi. You have to be paying 51% or more of the bills. Let's see, we're going to go here. Okay, he's going to move it a little further on because he's trying to calm the ladies down. Because the ladies are quite ornery at this time. But, yes. Can't hear anything. Okay. Well, again, I'm gonna paraphrase for you. I thought I would get my Bluetooth on there, Leslie. Thank you. What is this about? Well, again, hold on, just a second, because again, Leslie raises a good question. What is the show about? The show is about when men can cheat. There's a certain group of men that the lead attorney proposes can't cheat. Not all men can cheat. Let me say that. We've already gone through the rules, so I'll repeat it for you just in case you're late to this. Now, again, here we go. 739. So let's go back. Men can cheat. Certain men can cheat, but for the most part, women and wives are forbidden to cheat, and husbands and men are forbidden to cheat, right? The third thing, notwithstanding number 2, in which husbands and men cannot cheat. Repeat, husbands and men cannot cheat. Husbands can cheat. Husbands, therefore, those taking vows before God and man, can cheat on their wives if all these conditions are present. Number one, they have to be married, as we said. Number two, he has to be able to pay the majority of household bills. So that's an answer to your question. So he has to be paying 51% or more of the bills. He has got to be the breadwinner. Simple as that. Without his salary, the house can't stand. It's as simple as that. Without him paying the bills, the house can't stand. In those situations, with those sort of men, they're still within the parameters of cheating. So now you've caught up on that, Leslie. We're going to move on. But thank you for your comment on Talk Talk Live, IG, YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Here we go. Oh, let me just move this a little further down. Good question. Good point by the lead attorney. He raises the point that men and women cannot be, husbands and wives really, if this is the category, they cannot be forced be outside of their will to have sex with anyone, even husbands and wives. That is true. That is a very good point raised. Rape is not to be tolerated, single or married, because married people do get raped. Just saying. They do. They do give it up beyond their will. And there are recourses. There are recourses for such activity. So again, he does not advocate for rape. None whatsoever. But for men and women. So we all can cheat. Yes, indeed, Leslie, we all can cheat. But in this instance, well, let's say this. You can cheat, but it's not as if you're going to be put on a pedestal and be paraded downtown with a ticker tape parade if you cheat. It would be admonished. It would be, how shall I say, frowned upon in society. In this society. So, yes, all men and women can cheat. Yes, they do. Absolutely. But if, according to lead attorney, the law were his, it would be forbidden to cheat. So not only men, but women would be forbidden to cheat. So therefore, you know what? Thank you for mentioning that. Because if you're not allowed to cheat, and it's punishable by law if you do, I think a lot more honesty in relationships would come to pass. Number one, there'd be a lot less cheating, but there'd be a lot more stuff on the table, and a lot more relationships will be open and honest. There it is. A lot more relationships would be open, would be honest, would be cards on table, and I think a lot more relationships would be a little more harmonious if that were the case. They would. A lot, I mean, let's face it, I guess you could say, would there be more marriages? I would say they're the same because marriages are around 50%. But I think there'd be a lot more open and honest marriages if people were forbidden to cheat, and it would be punishable by law. And to be fair and frank, think of it this way. In Muslim communities, in Muslim societies, that is the case already. Cheating is pretty much punishable by law in fundamentalist Muslim countries, especially by women. Oh God, don't do that. Can't do that to your husband. In democratic societies, it's free and easy, absolutely, but such laws already exist in Muslim countries to a certain extent. But again, there's definitely a leaning towards, and I don't hold my hands up, there's definitely a leaning towards men being able to cheat more than women. I think women is definitely punishable by Sharia law. Absolutely. Oh my God. It's very, 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 very much frowned upon. But we are in a free and democratic society, so let's put that to the side. Here we are in this scenario. So again, We all know, Tesley, that we all can cheat. Yeah, we get it. Absolutely. And I thank you for your comment. But here's a way in which cheating can be cut down, open, honest relationships can begin, and there is that clause in which men can indeed cheat. Because for the most part, men are considered breadwinners. But that is changing. I understand. That is changing. But with the parameters of society right now, this is where we stand. So let's move on. This is the one which turns the tide. This is the part of the law. This is a subsection that really makes the law plausible. Really makes it plausible. So, again, husbands, men are allowed to cheat. Women and wives are allowed to cheat. However, notwithstanding number two, some husbands can cheat on their wives if all these conditions are present. Number one, they're married. Number two, they're husband to wife. Husband has to pay the household bills. But number three, the most important part, the most important subsection of this law is that the wife must be capable but unwilling to have sex with the husband. Basically, if women are withholding sex from their husbands, withholding it, keeping it away from them, holding them to ransom for it, basically you're in a loveless, sexless marriage for a good period of time, then the law changes for you. But again, you have to be in a married relationship. You got to be able to pay all the bills, or a majority of them, 51% above. However, if doing all that, the wife still withholds sex from you, and not under the guise of rape, but literally saying, I do not want to have sex with you any longer, or do not want to have sex with you for a long period of time, she's unwilling to have sex with the husband, then the law changes towards men. Then the law turns. Then the law, you see where I'm going with this? That's why I say you have to be a little patient here. You have to be just that little bit of patience. But that is the only way in which men can see an avenue to be able to cheat. An avenue. If a woman is withholding sex from her husband, if a wife is withholding sex from her husband, and he's paying the bills, he's doing what he's supposed to do within the relationship, what's a man to do? Well, what's a man to do? Seriously. If you guys have a better idea in which men should not be able to cheat in any circumstance, do let me know. But let me say this, and he's right, he'll get into this. Men, especially married men, they like sex on a regular basis. I mean, there are women who do too, but definitely men who do. And for you to willingly, recklessly be unwilling to have sex with your husband, yeah, it's a problem. It's a huge problem. Something which women really don't understand because you're not a man yourself. But if, let's say, for a 6 month to a year span, you're not having sex with your man anymore, what's a man to do? Twiddle his thumbs? Go online and have at it? Make sure Vaseline's at the ready? What are you supposed to do? What? Until women can find an answer for that, then this it's not a bad clause. This is where married men are forced to cheat. They're basically constructively allowed to cheat. Think of it this way. In landlord-tenant law, it's considered construction eviction when a tenant is basically forced out by their landlord through withholding water or withholding sunlight or heat. Not allowing the dwelling in which they live, the rented dwelling in which they live, to be livable. That's called constructive eviction. You're literally telling if I'm not providing you hot water, if I'm not providing you windows, if I'm not providing you heat within the home for a long period of time, you're constructively telling me to leave because you're not there to fix the problem. So therefore, in this case, if men have a sex problem and you women are the cause of that sex problem, and you feel that you have no love or no desire to sleep with your man, a man should be allowed to seek pastures new, especially if being held to such conditions for a long period of time. I consider that constructive dismissal of marriage. Literal constructive dismissal of marriage, because the marriage is not going anywhere with a man without sex. Absolutely not. It's like breathing. It's like walking. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like every man has needs. And if women aren't allowed to fill those needs, we have to listen. And it's for a good amount of time. I'm sure he'll get into that. We have to move on. Let's continue. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard of that. What lead attorney was saying is that, especially after the first, if not the second kid, white women especially cut off sex from their husbands. They cut it off. They don't feel anything for their husbands. They literally say, you know what? They turn off their desires for their husbands. They turn it off. They turn it off like a faucet. Turn it off. and they ask their husbands to deal with it themselves. I mean, it's basically it's constructive dissolution of a marriage. That's basically it. Especially after the first or second child, you don't have that sort of desire for your man. You do, and you go months, if not years, without. So, ladies, what should a man do in these situations? I ask you. You withheld sex with your man. You don't desire your man the way you used to, the way you did when you were first married, or when you were dating in a dating relationship, in a relationship way. What's the man to do? What's he to do? Is he to stay in a loveless marriage? Is he to literally fend for himself, and when he does get caught cheating, is scolded for it? That's unfair. It's literally unfair. Literally unfair. It's literally unfair for you as a woman to say, you know what? You're not getting any from here on out. You might as well dissolve the marriage right then and there. And I'm telling you this, ladies, if you ever come to a point where you do not desire your man at all sexually, tell him. Tell him. Literally tell him. I said, listen, I don't desire you sexually anymore. I think we should, part ways. And that's fair and fine, because a man doesn't want to be denied at every beck and call and only be there for his kids. That's a terrible place to be. To not be desired, to not to be loved. And listen, sex is like meat and drink to us, ladies. It's not so much, well, again, to certain women, it is that way. But to a lot of women, it's not. They can literally turn it off in a second, tend to the kids, and be done with it. And as he was saying, in a lot of, Caucasian marriages, that is indeed the case. A lot of his friends are like that, where the woman just says, I have no desire for you. Off goes the faucet. I turn off the spigot. And that it is. And there it is. No more sex for you. What's a man to do then, ladies? Tell me. Is it fair for a man to just stay in a loveless relationship? No, it's not. But certain women will hold a man to it. And if he breaks the rule, he's held to pay for it. Are you getting this now? He's to say, oh, well, he cheated on me, so therefore I'm going to take half. That's a double cross, ladies. That's the thing you're not realizing. That's a double cross. And they'll do that. And in those situations, if you're paying the bills, if you're in a marriage, majority of the bills, you're in a marriage, and you're withheld sex for a considerable amount of time, at least 6 months and up, men should be allowed to cheat. But only if all those conditions are met. If you're getting regular sex and then you're going outside of the relationship, of course not. You're not going to get upset. You're not going to get sympathy there. That is cheating. That's cheating in and of itself. If a woman's giving of herself and giving all that there is to a marriage, then the law doesn't apply to that gentleman. Does not apply. It's only those relationships and those under the provisos that you're married, you're paying all the bills, the woman's still not giving it to you. That's terrible. And women do this every single day. To good, hardworking men. Especially if you are in, let's say, if you have sort of pink tendencies, let's say that. If if you want some alphabet soup. and you're not turned on by your men anymore. They'll go through life literally pawing him off to a certain point, and men don't want to be done that way. Absolutely not. Just tell them the truth and move on. But you shouldn't be compensated for it now, because women will take advantage of that. It's, oh well, I want to move on with my life, but he should still pay for it. What? Say that again. You switch allegiances, and now you want me to still compensate you for it? What? Where in tarnation is that fair? Where? Where in tarnation is that considered fair? Be truthful, ladies. Tell them what's happening, what's what. You maybe found yourself a new avenue down a whole new and different road, but still be able to stay in the marriage. Are you getting what I'm thinking? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Especially if you have alphabet tendencies, especially if you have pink desires. Making sure this is charged up here. I think we do. Yeah, we go. Yeah, we do. Okay. Make sure that this thing is charging. Should do, anyways. But yes, if you are of that persuasion, tell a man about it. Because listen, we're living in a new age now. Women are have no ways about telling a man, "Oh, I want a woman in my life." Or I want to spice up the marriage. I want a woman to do such and such. And if you're not willing to go that way, then show's over. At least be truthful to him. Certain men, a lot of men wouldn't take it that way. Then let them move on. Let them cheat if you want to stay in the relationship. But if not, let them move on. Let it happen. But it's unfair to be withholding and yet compensate for your constructive dissolution of a marriage. It's unfair. Let us continue. The attorney says it best. Even in a marriage in which he's divorced, his wife never turned him away from sex. She was always there to provide it for him. There are men out there, ladies, and you know there are out there, in which they're denied sex. You probably have friends that they'll never let on to you, but there are friends out there who literally withhold sex from men because they're thinking of someone else, either male or female, or they're just not in love with the guy anymore. But for lead attorney in lead attorney's defense, never had to deal with that with his ex-wife. His wife was always there to provide. And that's one thing you ladies got to realize. That if you're in a marriage, or if you're going to get married, sex is part of the deal. Sex is part of the deal. Yes, men have to hold up their end of the bargain. Yes, men have to be, protectors and providers, absolutely. But women, you got to do your part. And part of that is having healthy sexual relations with your husband. Let me repeat that. Part of any great relationship, and people neglect this. And women, you sometimes do as well. But you need, especially if you are in a married relationship, to have healthy sexual relations with your husband. You can't take nights off, you can't take weeks off, you can't take months off, unless you're pregnant. That's the only way you're able to escape it. But for you to go 5 to 6 months withholding, unless you are terminally ill, bedridden, you can't do that. You can't do that to a man who's done his part, who's done his duty within the marriage. That is absolutely sick. That is sadistic behavior. And this is not really talked about. It's not really talked about. It's part of the reason why it's, half of marriages end in divorce. Because women, part of the reason why is because women, don't give it up anymore. They just say, he's good. I gave him one on Valentine's Day. I gave him one for his birthday. I gave him one on Christmas. 3 times during the year. It happens. Oh, it happens. Healthy sex lives at least involve sex at least once a week. Once a week. At least once a week. If you're going weeks at a time with withholding, ladies, either there's something wrong with you or you're not attracted to your man anymore. It's as simple as that. It's only 2 reasons why you're withholding yourself for sex for longer than a week. Maybe you're away on business, but who's away on business for 2 weeks? Who's away on business for 2 weeks? 1 second here. Let me see about this. I have to make a change here. Hopefully I can get this here, that there. Let me see if this works here. There we go. Everything's fine. I don't know what's going on here, but terrible. We're still here on Talk Talk Live on YouTube. Sorry about that. We are going to renew our feed here on IG. New phone's got to come through. Okay, that's it. But we are continuing with our little feed here on When Men Can Cheat. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for keeping on and keeping with me here on YouTube. Let me see if there's any comments in the comments section. Let me see if that indeed is the case. We are good to go. Yes, indeed. Are we good on the recording thing? Let me see. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, ladies, you have to come to terms with your marriage. You have to come to terms with your life within a relationship. And for you to withhold sex from your husbands, because you can, and you've done it for a prolonged period of time, that is in many men's minds, a form of abuse and constructive dissolution of a marriage. Sex is a big part of any marriage. Any marriage. Any marriage. If you don't feel up to it, ladies, let a man know. Do not hold his life hostage. And I'm sure he'll go into it a bit later here. It shouldn't be, a man shouldn't be held to account for it. If a woman's constructively checking out of things. Let's continue. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if my audio is back to normal now. Oh. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I think we are good to go here. Let me see.
Battery 100%.
Even though I was paying the majority of the household
Ah,
bills.
there we go.
But there's one other thing. There's one other thing.
Hope you can hear that on Talk
And
Talk Live.
This is why. Well, there's.
We got the sound back finally. More, but unbelievable.
And I want you to notice that it says capable. It's not like the woman got hit by a car and her leg is broken or hip is crushed, and you're like, oh well, you know, you didn't have sex with me, so now I get to cheat because you broke your hip, right? I will say this though. Here's another one. This is a fourth one. The husband and the wife must have one or more children, right? The husband or the wife must have one or more children. Guys, let me tell you something. This last part is the key. It is the key. If your wife is capable, if you are married and you are paying the majority of the household bills, and your wife is capable but unwilling to have sex with you, but you do not have any children, you are not allowed to cheat. Some of you guys are like, well, I don't know, where are you going? That's the whole point. Shout out to Carmen. Carmen says that makes no damn sense. This is why I see things, guys. I see things that y'all don't see. Like, y'all are just on like the level, y'all are on the earth. And I'm like 50,000 feet up, like in a plane. And I've done this shit for 20 years. I see it all. I see it all. Why is it that if the man and the wife, if they don't have a child, why is the husband not allowed to cheat? You're not allowed to cheat because you should get a divorce. You should get a divorce. Why are you cheating when you can get a divorce? Just divorce her. You're going to be like, oh, well, she's going to take half. That's what you agreed to when you married her. Did you get a prenup? No, I didn't have anything back then. Well, there you go. Divorce her ass. If she makes you unhappy, whether she's sleeping with you or not, or disrespecting you or not, or whatever she's doing or not doing, if you are unhappy and you look down the road and you're like, man, this is not getting any better, just divorce her. The fuck are you cheating? Divorce her and start living your life. Be free. You don't have any kids. You don't have any kids. Be free.
That is an important point. And thank you, my friend Dave, for that. Yes, the sound is much better. Thank goodness it seemed to comply. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it still does. Anyway, that is the last point. The subsection 3 being that you and her need to be in a relationship, and basically, if she's capable, she can't have sex. That's an important point. But the fourth one is that you have to have kids. Kids have to be a part of the deal. So, if you are married and you have children, it is much harder to get a divorce. much, much more difficult because, again, the entanglements are all, it is literally all there. You have household, you have bills, you have children's bills, you have, it makes it much more messy. And a man would tend not to want to leave a relationship, leave a marriage if kids are involved. Because he knows chances are the wife gets, through jurisprudence, would get legal custody of those children. She'd take the house, she'd take the primary car in her care because she's the primary, they deem her as the primary caregiver. And basically she'd be entrusted, child support and alimony if he's the breadwinner. No man wants to leave a marriage in those circumstances because they know he's going to lose his fortune because of it. He's going to lose it. Whether the woman is constructively dissolving the marriage or not, he'll lose it, sure. And men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Remember the Jay-Z saying, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers are, if you are the breadwinner in a certain relationship, half it goes. Unless you have a prenup. And that's what I'd advocate all men to do. Get prenups done if you are getting into any wedding, any relationship. If you want to keep your fortune that you worked so hard for. Because women have no compunction whatsoever to take it and run. Oh no, I'd never do that in certain situations. Oh no. If the law is leaning towards women, you don't find feminists walking outside of family courts. Why? Because it doesn't behoove them to do so. It's not financially advantageous for them to do so. You'll never have a feminist group protest the fact that they are getting the lion's share of any divorce proceedings. Never have that. It never has happened, and it never will happen. But getting back to this. If in a relationship, if in a marriage that has kids, where the man's paying the majority of the bills, and you're in a marriage, it's hard to extricate yourself from that. It's very difficult. And therefore, and no man would want to be out of that situation. So, if sexual needs are supposed to be met, guess what? If you have a wife withholding sex, you have children, you're doing your job, the law and those in relationships should pay a blind eye. If she's willingly withholding sex, that is when men can indeed cheat. And all these criteria must be met. Marriage, kids, the woman can have sex but doesn't want to have sex with you, and you have children. All those conditions must be met before you can legally cheat. Before the eyes of God and man, you can legally cheat as a man. You can't just take one section and leave out another section and no. Then cheating is dishonorable then. Absolutely. But if all these parameters are met, what's a man to do? What's a man to do? Spend his lifetime in his basement trying to get himself off? Have his back turned to his lady trying to get himself off? What's a man to do? Comment below. I'd love to hear it. What's a man to do? What's a man to do? Do you have an alternative to this? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Because I don't see one. But if you do, let me know.
Why are you still in the house with her? I paid for the house. Well, the judge is not going to give you the house, but maybe y'all can sell it and split the equity 50-50. But what happens, guys, when your wife is capable but unwilling to have sex with you and you guys have a kid? And you look down the road. You're like, man, Lee told me to divorce her, but now I got this kid. What happens if I divorce her? I love my kid. 6 years old, we go out and play ball every day. I get to see my kid every single day of the year. When I wake up in the morning, my kid is in this house. When I go to sleep at night, my kid is in this house. What do women say all the time? Women are like, oh, I'm a mama bear. I'm a mama bear. I'll do anything for my kid. I'll do anything for my child. I'll go to the ends of the earth for my child. Guess what? A lot of dads feel the same fucking way. You think you're going to take my 6-year-old from me? Would I do anything for my 6-year-old? You think that you're going to stop having sex and I'm supposed to suffer for the next 30 years of my life? But to get sex, I have to give up my kid? Fuck you. If you'll do anything for your kid, I'll do anything for mine. How about that? How about that? You're capable of having sex with me, but you don't want to? Fine. Fine. Don't have sex with me. We got a kid. I done hit it anyway. I've already hit. You're walking around this bitch in Crocs. Dirty Crocs. 20, 40, 80 pounds overweight. If you don't want to give me none, fine. But what you're not going to do is find a way to force me to divorce you over my libido, and now I lose the ability to wake up in the same house as my child.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put cards on the table now. Do you know how many divorces end up in such a way? Where a woman literally says, okay, I can be financially compensated from this gentleman who I'm not in love with as long as I don't have sex with him. As long as I hold out for a good period of time. As long as I create a loveless marriage and he's the breadwinner, then I can take half because I don't have a prenup with him. You know how many marriages end up as such? More than you think. More than you know. It's true. That's why you find a lot of guys sticking around in loveless marriages. You know why? The woman's saying, if I hold out long enough, I can take half. I can take half. I can take half. And in his world, which is a very just world, if that's indeed the case, men can cheat in a relationship. They can cheat. If you are married, if you have children, if you are in a relationship in which the woman can have sex and is withholding it, and you are paying the majority of the bills, guess what? Men should be at liberty to cheat. Are you getting this? Only if all those criteria are met, they should be allowed to cheat. Because guess what happens if one one particular clause isn't met. That is the one in which a woman can have sex and won't have sex. As he says, in most white relationships, that's indeed the case. Women just shut it off like a spigot. They shut it down. And men are expected to stay in that relationship. Stay. Because if they don't, and they don't have a prenup of any kind, way, shape, or form, guess who gets taken to the cleaners? Guess. One guess. Because they know that the family courts are very much on side of women. As I said, you'll never find a feminist, you'll never find a modern woman protesting outside a family court. Why? Because it's not financially in their mind to do so. Why? If anything a family court is, it is a center. It is the center of women's studies. Think about it that way. It is the center of women's studies. It is the arbiter for women. $60 to 70% of marriages end in divorce, in which men are breadwinners. So if they prove that it fell to the wayside through irreconcilable differences, guess who wins? Guess who wins? Women win. And if they hold out sex, they're incentivized to do so because they're holding men hostage. Men should be held hostage, ladies. That's unfair. Divorce the man, take what you want with you, and move on. If you are withholding sex for a considerable amount of time, that is unfair. And men should be able to cheat. Men can cheat in those conditions. If there are children, he's paying the bills. There is a marriage, and there are children involved. Yes, because as the attorney said, if you are indeed within a childless marriage, you can just divorce and move on. Live your life elsewhere. Split the marital assets, amicably and move on. No big deal. No big whoop. But with kids, things become that much more entangled. And as they say, the statistics don't lie. In single parent homes, children suffer. Majority of children suffer psychologically, scholastically, penally. They suffer. And if you're an upstanding gent, if you're a hardworking man, if you are a loyal husband, you don't want that happening to your kids. Hell no! Don't want it happening to your kids. So they'll take the punishment as long as their kids get to become upstanding citizens. But let it be said, in those sort of relationships, men should cheat. Men should be able to cheat. Yes, men can cheat men should be able to cheat in those relationships. They can cheat. That's when men can cheat. Yeah. As controversial as it sounds, yes, they should be able to cheat. Because a lot of women could go years without to reap a financial reward. Truth.
You're not going to do it? Now, I'm a man, and all men are human beings. And all human beings have needs. Can I go a month without sex? Yeah. Can I go 3 months without sex? Yeah. But you want me to go 6 months? You want me to go to a year? And then when I ask you, when I communicate with you, Say, hey, it's been a year. Yeah, I'm just not really. Oh, like you're never gonna.
No.
And now my child is seeing me grumpy.
Mm.
He's seeing me frustrated.
Mm.
This is the father that my child gets. My father deserves better.
Mm.
My child deserves better. My child deserves a father who is relaxed. My child deserves a father who is satisfied. And my child deserves a father who is in the home every single night of the year. And that's what he's going to get.
Hmm.
And if the only thing messing this up is that you decide that you don't want to have sex with me, está bien, güey. No hay pedo, güey. Like, that's good, okay. But I get to get some ass on the side. Now, let me say this too, because the laws are kind of changing. There's an exception to the exception. The exception to the exception is, so this will be what, number 4? The exception to the exception is, notwithstanding the above, uh, the husband is not allowed to cheat if the wife will consent to 50-50 custody. That's it, guys.
Okay.
If your wife is like, listen, I just don't want to have sex with you anymore, but we can co-parent, we'll get a divorce, 50-50 custody, now you've lost the right to cheat. Now you're back in divorce land. Divorce her. She'll agree to 50-50 custody. She'll agree to no child support. You're going to have your kid an equal amount of time. That's fair. She gets 50% of the time. You get 50% of the time. That's fair. She doesn't get child support. You don't get child support. She works. You work. She supports the child when the child is with her. You support the child when the child is with you. That's fair. That's all you should want. This is not about having your cake and eating it too, guys. But it's not like these women are going to force you to go without sex, vaginal, anal, oral, when you have needs as a human being where you have to choose between your libido and your fucking children. That's not a choice that should be imposed on you.
Do you hear that? And he's right. Right again. See, there's a way out of this, ladies. There's a way out. If you allow for 50-50 custody instead of full custody. Full custody means that you get child support. And if you get child support / alimony payments, a man should stay and cheat. There it is. Let me repeat that for the cheap seats. If you're fighting your man tooth and nail, and you're in a marriage for a considerable amount of time, he pays all the bills, he does what his duty is, and you withhold sex, like lead attorney said, for 6 months to a year or more, and you say you're not ready and you're not in the right headspace, no. You're basically constructively dissolving the marriage. Just end it. Split custody 50-50. You pay the bills when the child is with you. He pays the bills when the child is with him. Split any sort of marital assets, and it's over. How many women would agree to that? How many women out there would agree to that? Please comment below. But I bet you Not many will. Why? Because it's not financially advantageous for them to do so. Especially if the desires and the thrill are gone. Now they want the brass ring, or should I say the gold ring. Now they want it all. The house, the alimony payments, the, my goddamn jazz club is smelling amazing. Anyway, they want the house. They want the car. They want the kids. They want the child support. They want the alimony. They want it all. In this day and age, yet you want to be considered equals. Are you getting this? How can you be traditional women and modern women at the same time? Difficult, isn't it? But there's a way out, ladies, as lead attorney so eloquently stated. If you're willing to give up half custody, allow that for the gentleman. You take 50%. You pay for each other's bill, for the child's bills when they are with you. No child support is allotted. Marital assets are split and sold. Then a man can't cheat. But if he is locked into a marriage, because a woman, Lord knows, 95% of women, I dare to say that, 95% of women, you can prove me wrong all you want, but 95% of women would turn around and literally hold men's former husbands, exes' feet to the fire in this instance. Saying, oh yeah, I'm taking half. Again, I don't find any feminist rallies outside of family courts. I don't find any modern women rallies outside family courts. Nope. You'll never see a walk on a protest on a family court from women. You'll never find it. Never find that. Never. That's why you're finding a lot of men leaving marriages. They don't want to get married because it's a bad deal. Are you getting this, ladies? They're finding marriage is a bad deal. And it's up to you to make that change. Or else, allow men to cheat. Allow men to have their desires quelled and quenched. Because you're not doing it. Let somebody else do it. Let somebody else do it. That is, if he's paying the bills, he's in the house as the husband, you're withholding it from him, and there are kids involved. I don't see a problem with it. But that's the get out clause. That's the notwithstanding clause that he just directed to you. Let's continue.
It can't be that, oh, well, either I have sex or I get to see my kids. That's where this law comes in. Now, if she is going to give you half of the kids, half of the custody, and no child support, you can't cheat on her anymore. You're back in divorce land. Divorce her. I don't want to get a divorce. I lose. Well, you should have thought about that before you got married. This isn't about assets, because you already agreed to what was going to happen in the divorce since you got married without a prenup. But this is about the state giving women an unfair advantage. The state gives women an unfair advantage in so many aspects of family law. And you can level the playing field. That's what this law does. It allows you to level the playing field. Now, if the playing field is level, then it's level. You got to divorce her. If y'all don't have any kids, then if y'all don't have any kids, y'all don't have any kids. Divorce her. Or if she's willing to give you 50-50 custody and no child support, divorce her. Now, what if she says, oh, well, I'm going to give you 50% custody, but I still want $800 in child support? Now it's unfair again. Now it's unfair again. Because now she has custody 50% of the time. You have custody 50% of the time, but now you're supposed to pay her every month $800 until the child is 18 or 21 in New York? Are you crazy? Now I'm cheating. And, I know it's weird for a man to come up here and say men should be able to cheat, and women are like, what the fuck? Women, you need to listen. I'm not just up here just doing Derrick Jackson shit for the men. I'm being serious. It is not a fair situation for men to make men choose between their necessities and their children.
Stop it there. Are you getting this, ladies? Thank you very much, lead attorney. We're going to finish it off in a minute. But that's the point. That's why men could cheat. You heard a comment earlier of saying, oh, all people cheat. No. Cheating is wrong, as I said from the start. Especially if you are a single person or you're in a relationship, an unmarried relationship, where you have not sworn to God and man to be with this woman till, quote unquote, death do you part. Men shouldn't cheat, women shouldn't cheat in those circumstances. No one deserves that. But, as the rules apply, if you are a man and certain conditions apply to you, in which you're a husband, you're a breadwinner, paying 51% or more of the bills, you have a woman, a wife, who literally is not giving you the sexual attention you deserve for 6 months or more, and you have children involved, and you know this woman, if you divorce her because of this forcible, constructive dissolution of a marriage, will punish you for going outside of the vows to find sexual gratification. A man should be allowed to cheat. However, ladies, to redress the balance, if you agree to 50-50 custody, you paying bills, because listen, ladies, if you want to be considered equals, this is one way to do it. If you want a more egalitarian society, if you want your modern womanhood to be recognized by men, this is how you do it. This is the secret to it all. You want more long-lasting marriages? Here's the secret. Here's the secret, ladies. Don't ask for alimony. Don't ask for child support. Dissolve the marriage, split the assets, and go about your merry way and live your life. Whatever alternative there are out there, or whatever man lies in your future. Do it. I don't think many men would object to that. And if you ask a man to come to this channel, or go to the lead attorney's channel, shout out to the lead attorney, an excellent show on this topic. Please do so. And watch his reaction. He'll probably say yes. He'll probably say, you know what? That Talk to Talk Live guy, he's right. He's Absolutely correct. He's got it spot on. Sponsored by Duntalk. DUNTALK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. This is the sort of topics we're discussing here. And if you ladies want to be taken seriously as equal citizens and not the gender that takes advantage of past beliefs and ideologies, do that. Do that first. Take your custody. Don't ask the man for much. You split the assets. You move your way and do your thing. Whatever alternative it is, or whatever man you find, do it. I'm sure men won't object. They won't object. They will. They will not object. I'm going to let my manly attorney finish off here. Then we're going to sum up.
Women are always like, I'll do anything for my children. Well, men will too. I couldn't imagine not living with my children. Well, men can't either. So they should be able to cheat every single day of the year. If these conditions are met. Don't just clip this and say, all Lee said men can cheat every day of the year. Because they can, but only under these conditions. And then there should be rules about the cheating. You should wear a condom. You should not throw it in the girl's, on the wife's face. Don't come home with smelling like perfume or lipstick on your collar. No outside babies. Oh my God. Now you're back in the same boat. Respectful cheating. It exists. Like, be clean about it. Because
And that's such a I don't want to leave it like that
this isn't
to
you
my
trying
YouTube
to-
audience. And that is the truth. Guys, there are rules to cheating. Cheating's not good, but if you're forced to do so, be discreet. Don't put your business on the street. Don't buy these women high-ticket items. Don't bring any babies home. Don't bring any sexual diseases home. Those are the rules. No sexual diseases, no babies, no high-ticket items buying to curry favor with these women. And also, there should be no point in which you embarrass the girl. Don't do it. Don't do it. There are ways to cheat. There are clean ways to cheat. If you get an escort, there's a way to cheat. If you do it out of town and come back on business, that's a way to cheat. If you sign a non-disclosure agreement, knowing that this woman won't put your business in the street, that's the way to cheat. If it's for a certain period of time, it's not on a long-term basis, that's a way to cheat. Those are the only ways in which you can cheat. Don't embarrass a girl. Don't bring home babies. Don't bring home sexual diseases. And don't buy any high-ticket items. Those are the rules of cheating. But only under the circumstances in which you are married, with children, in an area in which women are capable yet withholding of any sort of sexual contact. And finally, there are kids involved. So, finishing up.
Get over, this is just you trying to live a normal life, a fulfilled life. You're not a fulfilled man if you go 30 years without sex unwillingly. You're not fulfilled. And it shouldn't be that the state of Georgia or Florida or New York or Texas or California is making you choose between your fucking libido and your children. So you're trying to even it out. But just don't take advantage. Tranquilo, todo relajado. Right? What do you guys think? Now that y'all have heard it, now that y'all have heard it completely, what do you think? All of y'all were like, no, what the fuck? Do you think this is a good law? Women especially. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna
stop it there. Thank you very much, Lead Attorney, to that. It was a great show. If you had a opportunity to watch the whole show on the Lead Attorney, please do so. It's a fantastic show. Shout out to the Lead Attorney for that. But I thought it's a very great topic in which to talk about. And thank goodness my speakers came back to life again. But anyways, I digress. But those are the only rules in which you cheat, guys. Those are the only rules in which you cheat. Back to my full game. Those are the only rules in which you cheat. You cheat when there's no recourse. You cheat when you know the laws of the family court are against you. You cheat when you have kids involved. You cheat when a woman's forcibly keeping it away from you for sinister purposes or because she's not in love with you anymore. That's when you cheat. When you know there's a financial incentive for a woman to do so. He didn't go into that, but I'm telling you that. When there's a financial incentive for you to do so, then you gotta cheat, because a man, again, and we'll go into this a little later, a man who is out of the home and is a single parent home, it puts their children at a psychological and societal disadvantage. And we'll go into that a bit later, especially when we talk about single parent homes. Ooh, I got some topics on single parent homes. Especially in the black community, in which 80% of families grew up in single parent homes. It is astonishing. It is sad. Thank God I was given the opportunity to live in a home in which the mother and father were still there. But that is becoming a rarity these days. Especially with sexual freedoms as they are. Especially when women never grew up with a man. They'd rather have a child than be with a man. Especially in these especially in the Africa diaspora. I wouldn't say African, but I say Africa diaspora. And we'll go into that and the repercussions of that. But this is when men can cheat. This is when men can cheat. Men are only allowed to cheat, again, when they're in a marriage, they have children, the man is paying 50% of the bills, and finally, a woman's not giving it up for 6 months or more. Because men have needs too, ladies, and you just fail to realize that. You fail to grasp that concept. And Lead Attorney brought it to the fore. And thank God for him to do that. Thank goodness he brought it to the fore. In a fantastic way. And, shout out to the Lead Attorney for doing that. It's a very, very subjective topic. What do you think about it? Again, like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to leave it there. But we are back. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live. We are back. We are live. We are ready to go on Sunday and Saturday this week. Now, the Sunday one may be a bit variable because, again, it's a busy day for me. Arsenal play Tottenham. No, Tottenham. Arsenal play Man United. Huge day. Huge day. And then my Bills play the Bengals. All on Sunday. So I got to find a way in which to get this done. If not, then I'm going to have to substitute it on a Monday or somehow to get it fit in. But definitely Saturday night we are back on Talk Live. I've got to head out with some mates, and that should be fun. But again, I thank you for joining me on Talk Live tonight. We are back. We are live with a few more topics. Oh, we're going to get into some serious topics. I've already got a few lined up, queued up. Again, the technology will be changing within the month. Here, Talk Live, more cameras, better. Well, you've already heard I've tried to fix the sound, if not fixed the sound today, and it's coming out much better as heard from your comments. Much better as my buddy Dave would say there. And yeah, we're gonna get on to it. We're back. We're live. Talk Live. Thank you for joining me tonight, and we're gonna end it there. We'll be back Saturday night, sometime early, say around the 7 o'clock start. It'll be a shorter show, but we're gonna get it in. And Sunday, we're gonna see if we can do a Sunday afternoon sort of deal. Something that allows for me to get it in like Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, around there. I don't want to stretch it out too far because, again, the playoffs are on, and yeah, some doozy games going on this weekend, including my Bills, including Arsenal v Man United. So, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We're going to end it tonight. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Fall winter line out now. And we'll shut it down from here. And I'm going to, see if I can get a workout in. I think I will. Again, make money, make muscle, learn game, and hold frame. MFD. There we go. That's the man who said about that. So, again, leave it there. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live. And if you talk, walk the walk, we're back on Saturday night with a new topic. Thank you for joining me for a lively conversation, and we'll speak to you soon. Peace. And for my YouTube viewers, thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're back with better cameras coming soon, I say within the month. And yeah, it should be, it will be go time very, very soon on a new camera. So I thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We finally got the sound better at the end of the show. And I hope for that to continue. So like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you on Saturday night. Peace.